Hey girl, welcome back to another episode of the Her Best Self podcast. In today's show, I want you to have a different perspective. And that's why I'm sharing with you how it's okay to not be okay. There are moments where this journey is going to be so not okay. There are moments when you're not okay. And I realize when you sit in that perfectionism mindset and you're a high achiever with all the high standards, you feel like you have to put on a mask and show the world someone that you truly aren't. Like you have it all together when you're simply not okay. And in today's episode, I want to give you some encouragement, drop some truth bombs that you need to hear, sis, and to sit alongside you as you navigate this messy road. So let's do just that. Let's hop right into this one. I hope you enjoy it. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm diving into something so crucial for your journey that I honestly wish someone had told me years ago when I was deep in the chains of my anorexia. We're talking about why it's absolutely 100% completely okay to not be okay during this process in your life, during this massive road that you are treading down. In fact, I believe that accepting this truth might be one of the most powerful turning points you can take in your healing journey. And if you've been beating yourself up for struggling, if you feel like you should be so much further along by now, or if you're wondering why recovery feels so freaking messy, do I see you? Like, I feel that to my bones. In fact, it's something that clients of mine and myself talk about regularly. I should be further along by now. This feels so hard or so heavy. Sis, then this episode is right up your alley today, and it is made for you. I want to start by addressing the biggest myth in eating disorder recovery, and that is that there's this perfect thing as a perfect recovery. Recovery should be this beautiful, this linear journey where each day you get a little bit stronger, a little bit healthier, and your relationship with food gets consistently better. Girl, I'm here to tell you, that is simply not how it works. Like, at all. Underscore at all. That is not how it works. Recovery is messy. It's 2 steps forward, it's 1 step backward. Sometimes it's freaking 5 steps backward. And sometimes it feels like you're crawling through mud or being taken out by quicksand. Like, I'm not even kidding you. And then other days you might feel unstoppable. And one of my favorite quotes from the author Glennon Doyle is this: we can do hard things, but we don't have to do them perfectly. The reality, friend, is your eating disorder didn't develop overnight. For many of us, these thought patterns and behaviors became our safety net over months, over years, over decades. They were how you coped with difficult emotions, with uncertainty going on in your life, with the feeling out of control feelings. So simply expecting yourself to untangle all of that very neatly and quickly and in one piece, that is truly setting yourself up for disappointment. One of my most favorites from Dr. Anita Johnston, who I actually had on the podcast. You can go listen to the episode that we did together. It's episode 113, where we talk about transforming your relationship with food through storytelling and through myths. One thing that she wrote about in Eating in the Light of the Moon, which is a really great book if you haven't read it, is she describes the recovery journey as a spiral staircase. So from above, it looks like you're going in circles, right? You're passing the same spots over and over. But what you're actually doing is you're climbing upward, even when it feels like you're going nowhere, even when you revisit similar challenges, even when it feels like you're getting taken out by that quicksand. But the reality is that you're approaching them from a different level. And I see this with my clients all the time. They'll say, Lindsey, I'm so frustrated because I thought I've conquered this fear of food, or I thought that I was good reducing my exercise, or I thought that I finally managed this thing and I was no longer looking at my watch or my steps or all of that. But I am triggered again by these things, and I find myself going back to those things. And what I remind them is that revisiting a challenge doesn't mean a failure. It means you have an opportunity to approach it with new skills and with new awareness, because sister friend, you got the tools now. And that is what I love about holding you accountable to you and what you can do to hold yourself accountable to you. So I remember during my own journey, there was this breaking point that actually became a breakthrough point. I was about 6 to 9 months into active recovery. So what I mean by that is I wasn't in denial anymore. I was truly trying to get better. And I was having what felt like the worst week. I had been following, my meal plan from my dietitian for a couple months. And I was doing, quote, everything right. And then suddenly I was overwhelmed with anxiety. I found myself standing in the kitchen with tears streaming down my face on multiple occasions, but during this time it was very regular, and I felt like I was unable to eat the dinner that I had prepared. I felt like such a failure. Why was I back here again? I mean, hadn't I already conquered this? And I called my therapist in tears, expecting her to be disappointed in me, but instead there was a different response, and this is why I feel like you need to hear this message today. This changed everything for me. Lindsey, this moment of struggle, it isn't evidence that recovery isn't working for you. It's evidence that you're in the middle of a real recovery. What I learned and what I saw was the fact that I was facing this fear, instead of restricting and hiding from it, I was reaching out instead of isolating. And these were signs of growth. These weren't signs of failure. But our brain wants to search for what we think it wants, right? And so if we're constantly thinking on ways that we're failing, our brain is going to search for ways that we're failing. The old me would have restricted. The old me would have retreated. But the recovering me was standing in front of the fridge in the discomfort, feeling all the feelings, and still choosing to fight. And that is when I realized it's not just okay to not be okay in recovery. These challenging moments are actually where the deepest healing happens. And so it is essential sometimes to not be okay in recovery. And when I work with clients in my Freedom Formula experience, which I've shared a couple times on the podcast, but if you're not familiar with that, that is my one-on-one coaching container where I support you directly. And we talk about healing. And I think about this in 3 different dimensions, okay? The body, the mind, and the soul. And in each of these areas, there are times when it's normal, even necessary, to not be okay. So I want to first talk about the body. During your recovery, especially from restrictive eating disorders, your body is going to go through significant physical changes, whether that's weight restoration, hormonal rebalances, digestive healing, and these processes are going to be uncomfortable. They simply are. You're going to experience bloating, or maybe some extreme hunger or fatigue or heightened body awareness. These physical experiences aren't signs that you're doing something wrong. They're not signs that you should throw in the towel. They're not signs that you're just not cut out for this. These are actually signs, sis, that your body's healing. Think about it like this. When a broken bone heals, it doesn't just feel great during that process, does it? The same is true for recovery. Your body's rebuilding that trust with you, and that relationship takes time to repair. The mind dimension is equally challenging, but your thought patterns might feel like they're in complete chaos right now. And one moment you're committed to healing, the next your eating disorder voice is screaming at you, and you might have these intrusive thoughts about food or exercise or all these overwhelming anxieties. Neurologically, your brain is rewiring itself. And research from the Eating Recovery Center shows that these neural pathways formed during an eating disorder, they do not disappear overnight. I know as much as we want them to, it is what we want, I get it. But creating new neural pathways, it requires repetition and it requires time. It's those moments when your mind feels like a battlefield that your brain is healing. And finally, the soul piece of all of this, which is where I feel like a lot of people in this industry that are helping and working with individuals through recovery get it all wrong. But this is where you deal with the deepest questions, because I don't feel like if you're not reflecting, you can actually heal. All that stuff can't stay inside of you. Like, it has to come out. You have to get it out some way, whether that's speaking it out, whether that's sharing, whether that is being accountable to someone and talking through the process with them or the feelings that are coming up for you emotionally, or whether that's journaling. It's getting these deepest questions out. Like, who am I without this disorder controlling my life? What am I feeling when food isn't numbing my emotions? Or what needs to change right now in order for me to be set free? What needs was my disorder meeting? And how do I get those needs in other healthy ways? This soul work, friend, is going to bring up so many things for you. It's going to bring up grief and anger and fear and confusion. You might mourn the time that you lost. I felt super angry about all the time I spent in it and all the pain that it caused people that I loved. And you might even feel scared about who you're becoming next. But this is so powerful. This is the point of no return. This body, mind, and soul alignment is so crucial. And there are going to be days when you just don't feel okay. And that is not just normal. It's actually part of the healing process. So how do you actually practice this acceptance of not being okay? I know that's hard, especially if you are a perfectionist or you feel like you should have it all together. But I want to share some practical approaches that have helped both me personally and my private one-on-one clients. I want you to create a comfort menu. Okay, this is a list of non-food related activities that bring you comfort when you are having a struggle bus day. Maybe that's calling a supportive friend or taking a bath or journaling or watching your favorite binge show. Like right now I'm loving Sweet Magnolias. Don't even ask me. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. But having this menu ready before your tough moments hit you when you're feeling super overwhelmed is going to help you. The second thing, practice the pause. I cannot highlight this one enough. When you notice yourself spiraling into shame about I am struggling so much, or I am so tired of this, or I'm so frustrated and mad about the decision I just made or didn't make, I want you to pause and simply take 3 deep breaths. Then say to yourself, this is a hard moment. Struggling is part of healing. And what would I say to my best friend if she was feeling this way? This creates that space between the feeling that you're feeling and actually doing something with that feeling, like in a response. And that is powerful. We have to stop living in these feelings. Feelings aren't facts. Then another important thing that you can really do to lean in and set your recovery journey on fire is document. Like document. I tell this to every single client. If you've been in my space long enough, you know I love documenting. Keep track of both your challenges and your victories. I don't care how small they are, because recovery, it isn't just about the end goal. It's about all the tiny brave choices that you're making on the day-to-day. And if you don't write them down, you're going to forget them. Writing them down helps you see the patterns and all the progress that your mind is going to minimize. It just is, because it's going to search for the things that aren't working over the things that are. I also want you to find your people. Okay, find your recovery people and community, whether it is a support group, whether it is a therapist, whether it is a coach like myself or trusted friends who understand you. It is important to surround yourself with your people who normalize these messy parts of you. And I get it is vulnerable. It is so vulnerable. So if you're not ready to share your truth, that's where a coach comes in. When you can hear it from people that have gone before you and done it, or when you can hear it from a group of people who have similar struggles, or from somebody who has gone through this before and gotten to the other side, it's going to remind you and give you some realistic level setting that you're not failing, you're healing. And lastly, practice that self-compassion. Self-compassion, sis, it isn't just a nice idea. It's actually something you have to practice. Research by Dr. Kristen Neff shows that self-compassion actually leads to greater emotional resilience and a faster healing process than self-criticism ever will. So I want you to place your hand over your heart when you are having the worst day And I want you to say, this is a really hard moment for me right now. I'm in a hard season, and that's okay. I'm doing my best. It is okay. My struggle doesn't disqualify me for my healing. It's setting me up because the best is yet to come. Remember that giving yourself permission to not be okay, it doesn't mean throwing in the towel or giving up or feeling defeated. It's actually the opposite. It's giving yourself the grace and giving yourself the space to heal authentically to what is right for you without that additional burden of perfectionism. And I constantly have to share this with my clients. Your timeline is your timeline. I want you to give yourself the grace and space to heal. All right, friend, I need you to hear this clearly. Your struggles do not disqualify you from your recovery truth. They are part of it. The messy days, the tears, the frustration, the fear, they're all evidence that you're doing the real work. And that is something to celebrate. Healing, it isn't a straight line. It's actually super messy. It is like a toddler drawing a picture. But in the end, it actually is very beautiful because it is personalized and it is creative and it is leveraging your unique truth. And I kind of think about it as like when my 7-year-old just came home with my Mother's Day picture, and it was this super sweet card. And it was messy and the words weren't all spelled right, but it was beautiful and it was unique and it was so touching, and more touching than had it have been perfectly done. And so I want you to understand that if you're in this place right now where you feel like you're just not doing the things right because it feels so heavy and it feels so hard, you are exactly right where you need to be. And you don't have to do this by yourself. So if you're ready for personalized support on your journey, I created my Freedom Formula experience for women just like you, girl. Women who are ready to break free from food rules and find lasting recovery through your mind and your body and your soul healing. And as part of my one-on-one coaching program, we're going to work together to create this personalized roadmap that honors your unique challenges and your unique strengths, okay? This is not a cookie cutter approach. You're not going to find this anywhere else online. There's no toxic positivity. It's just real transformative healing work. And if you want to learn more and you want to apply to be a client, you can go on out to herbestself.co and click on apply. Actually, I think it's services, and then you can go and apply directly. I'm only taking on a limited number of clients right now, and I want to make sure that I can give every single woman that comes into my space the full attention. So if you're feeling called to this work, do not wait. Do not wait. And I want you to remember that it's not just okay to not be okay. Sometimes it's exactly where the healing happens. It's that surrender of, I'm not going to know all the things. It's not about becoming perfect. It's actually about reclaiming your voice with the struggle in this hard world that has tried to silence you. I believe in you, and I'm here for you every single step of the way. Thanks for listening to today's episode. And if you liked the show, come on over to our private community. You can find us at herbestselfsociety.com. We are looking at a couple of additional options of how, as a company, we can lean in and honor you more and be with you more and lift you up through your journey. And so we're looking at doing group sessions. And so if that's something you'd be interested in, I would love to get your feedback. You can come on out to the private community. You can share your feedback there, or you can email me personally at lindsey@herbestself.co. You are more than a number. You can do this. You're doing the hard things. You've got the tools. You've got the resources. And if you don't, what are you waiting for? Transformation is healing work. And it's time, sis, that you start transforming. I love you, friend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time. Bye for now, girl.